scary, rude, violating, terrified, disrespectful, anxious, uncomfortable, demeaning. These were just some of the words that you used to describe how you felt when someone touched your mobility aid or your wheelchair. Hello my wonderful friends, and welcome back to another video. This is part 2 from last week's video, which is all about what you should never do to a wheelchair user, along with many other things that I have discussed previously on my channel. So go and have a look in the description box or the pinned comment, because I'll leave some very useful links. So in this week's video I am going to be discussing why you shouldn't touch a mobility aid or someone's wheelchair. Now, you may be sat there thinking as a non-disabled person, well, yeah, I just wouldn't. But believe me, it happens, and it happens a lot. And there are quite a few different reasons as to why you should never ever do it. So with the thanks to my lovely online friends on Instagram, I have come up with this video discussing some reasons as to why you should never touch a person's mobility aid. Okay, so the comment that came up the most was it's rude. You wouldn't touch another non-disabled person. You wouldn't pick up a non-disabled person and move them out the way. If someone's bag was in the way, you would probably ask them, the owner of that bag, to move it. So why should it be any different for someone's mobility aid? It is rude and it's disrespectful. But let's go into it in a little more detail. So this first reason as to why you shouldn't touch someone's wheelchair has happened to me on many occasions. If I've got the brakes on my wheelchair, my fingers might be in the spokes or near the wheels, and if you push the wheelchair, then my fingers might get cut off by the spokes, and it bloody hurts. So that is one reason. Also, I have been trying to push myself through doorways or through narrowed areas, and someone's thought, oh, I'll give them a helping hand. But they haven't quite realised that I haven't lined myself up correctly, and I'm just kind of trying to sort myself out. And my hand is too close to the door frame, so my hand has got crushed in between my push pin and the door frame, and that is really bloody painful, and that's happened a few times. So ask. It's so simple, it's so easy. Would you like a hand? You all right there? Wait for the person's answer as well. That way we can keep our hands. They're quite precious to us because I use them to move around. So yeah, I don't really want to be breaking these bad boys. Another one that has happened to me before is sometimes when I get uncomfortable in my wheelchair, because it does get painful and uncomfortable, believe it or not, in a wheelchair, I have maybe sat with my feet off of the foot plates like this. I know, very attractive, isn't it? But it kind of stretches out my back and my muscles and things like that. You know, if you've got your foot off the foot plate and someone comes along and pushes you, you could get your foot run over and caught and cause a lot of pain and a lot of damage, especially if you can't feel it as well. Or I've been transferring, put one foot into the car, and then I've got one foot on the inside of my foot plate, because my foot plates kind of stick out at an angle, so it's on the inside. And when I've gone to get into the car, someone has kind of pulled the wheelchair away, making me fall and taking my leg with it. So just, you know, again, you can ask, make sure the person is ready to move. Sometimes when I'm in pain and my back hurts, I go into a wheelie position like this. And it's really good for kind of stretching out my back when I've been sat in the wheelchair for long periods of time. Now, if I was sat like this in the rain last week and the man grabbed the back of the wheelchair, it would have tipped straight back and I would have cracked my head open. So you don't know if you're going to move someone and they're going to go off balance. This really also applies to people who are using mobility aids as well. If you touch them or move them out of the way, they could be balancing, they could be counterbalancing. Sometimes a puff of wind can blow people over because they are so unsteady on their feet and they really rely heavily on their mobility aids. So never touch them. It's easy, simple. Oh, this one, yes. Wheelchairs are blimmin' expensive. My wheelchair was more expensive than my first car. Also, mobility aids in general, they are expensive. And if you don't know how to use them or how to work them properly, then you could end up breaking them, causing expensive damage. They may have to be sent away to be repaired, and then we're left without anything. I've had people going a little bit crazy trying to work out how to use my brakes, because brakes on wheelchairs differ quite a lot. I've had people picking up my wheelchair by the wheels. Oh, I hate that. It literally makes me go funny when I see someone picking up a wheelchair by the wheels, and then the frame's just gone whack onto the ground and things like that, and people just don't give a shit. Again, really simple here. Just ask, or we can show you how it works. And don't assume that because Nana's got one that you know how our one works, because it could be completely different, as I said. This might be quite shocking for you, but we can feel it. Okay, we can't feel it like you're touching our arm, but I can feel this, I can feel this. We can feel it, and it's bloody annoying. So annoying. But also some people have sensory issues, they have sensory problems, and some people are very anxious if people come too close to them. So you really need to respect people's personal space. Lots of people with disabilities may have immune compromised conditions. So if you touch our wheelchairs, you may be putting germs on them, and we may have to clean them. Also, we are now in the height of a global pandemic, so you shouldn't be touching our things anyway. By touching our wheelchair, you don't know what's under our clothes. We could have dressings, we could have sensitive scars, we could have broken bones as well. If you move us and jolt us and someone's got a broken rib, for example, you could cause a lot of pain and discomfort. I have a scar on my back quite close to where my push handles are. And if that gets caught, it's very painful and very uncomfortable. For some people, it can be very distressing and very scary if someone comes close to them. Also, can you imagine what it feels like to be blindfolded, picked up, and just walked off with? That's what it's like if someone was to come and grab the back of my wheelchair and push me. I can't see them unless I turn round, and you feel very much out of control, and it's very hard to put your brakes on while the wheelchair is moving, because we may end up losing a finger. Emotionally, by touching our wheelchairs, it's very demoralizing, it's very patronizing, and it can also be terrifying when you can't see what's happening. When I was touched by the man in the shop last week, I was really shaken by the whole experience. I couldn't see him because he was wearing a mask. By pushing us out of the way, it kind of makes us feel like an innate object, that we just don't matter. So my wonderful friends, I hope this video has been useful for you. Make sure to take a screenshot and share it on your social media so that your friends, family, relatives, whoever can watch this video, and we can highlight and raise awareness of how our mobility aids are and why they shouldn't be touched. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then I think that you will enjoy stupid things people have said to me about my disability. Make sure to thumbs up, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Bye! Feels like Kermit the Frog. Ow! Actually did catch my finger.
Turn around. No, that way. Not to go. My instructions were to turn around as if somebody's pushing you. What's about to happen, Jim? Think about what's about to happen. You're about to be pushed off and your feet crushed. You're not going to go. Not this way. like a sleeve step.